Hello there, good evening, and welcome here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph, and I am the host of this channel. So we're here on Monday night to do a look back at a classic rock album. And the album I've chosen is the red one here, the second album from Klaatu, their second studio album. The first one's got a yellow sun. It's almost like a sunflower. Maybe we're watching Teletubbies. This one's got a red sun overlooking a planet. I think it's probably easier to see it from the back part here. Anyways, this is a concept album. The second one is a concept album. It's called Hope. I'll give you the background information first. So this was released September of 1977. Their second album, of course. It's about 40 minutes, pretty close to 41 minutes in length, on the Daffodil and Capitol record labels, and produced by none other than Terry Brown. Yes, the Terry Brown from Rush. So he got in on this along with the rest of the members of Klaatu. They all kind of did it together. You've got D. Long here in the band. So the band is basically three guys, for those of you who are not aware of who they are. So D. Long on vocals, piano, electric and acoustic guitars, organ, clavinet, bass, synthesizers, mandolin, slide guitar, and harmonica, as well as electric sitar. So yeah, you might call him a multi-instrumentalist. But not to be outdone is John Wolochuk, who does vocals, bass, piano, auto harp, acoustic guitar, Fender Rhodes piano, organ, Polymoog synthesizer, harmonium, and electric piano and pianette. So yeah, he's not outdone. And then the final member of the band is Terry Draper on drums, tambourine, triangle, percussion, and some whistle. But I didn't hear the whistle. I listened for it, but I didn't hear it. So anyways, this album is very different from their debut album. Different in the sense that it's taking on different elements of music where they didn't take on in the first one. So the first one's kind of poppy with some catchy tracks, a little bit of jazzy stuff going on there. But a lot of poppy stuff. But all the songs are different. Some of them are heavier, some of them are lighter. Where with this album, it's much more space rock oriented. A lot more spacey, to be honest with you, with a lot of orchestral stuff going on, a lot of multi-instrumental stuff going on. Not that there wasn't any of that on the first album. It seems to be more on this album. It's got some catchy riffs at times too, but there's a lot of oddities on this album. Probably more than there was on the first one. The first one I found to be a little more British sounding. This one not as British sounding, although there is a little of that too. The vocal parts, though, are taking on like a Queen-like element to them, even though they don't really sound like Freddie Mercury or anything, but they're using some of that Queen multi-vocal parts harmonies that you used to get with Queen. So there's a lot of that here too. Overall, I really like this album. They told me initially I would like the first one maybe, and I wouldn't like the rest, so there's no point in getting them. But I've discovered that I like this one more than the first one, so that makes me think that I will like the other two that I have as well. And I have listened to them. I kind of know I already do, so I'm not getting out ahead of myself. So anyways, the first track, also I forgot to mention that the additional musicians on the album include the London Symphony Orchestra. So you're going to get they play a lot on this, especially on the back half of the album. Which brings me to the album. The album itself was originally released in a vinyl, 4 tracks on the front side, 4 on the back side. The front 4 tracks are top shelf. The back 4 tracks are good. Pretty strong, but I don't think it's as strong as the front half of the album. That's just my personal taste. So the first song on it is We're Off, You Know. Nice kind of title. Well, we're going to fly off here into the outer space. It's got a nice spacey sound to it. Almost like being in like that sound that you get when you're listening to some science fiction and they're in a void somewhere. A nice little guitar part in the background. Very British sounding song. Catchy melody. It's got this Sergeant Pepper's-like feel to the song, with some trumpets and chimes, which I think that's what gives it that kind of Sergeant Pepper's feel to it. The vocals are mid-range with a high kind of British sound to them, and it's there's multi-odd instruments on here. It's hard to figure out what everything is. But they're good. It's interesting. The next track out is called Madman. This is the shortest track on the front side. It's a bit Queen-like in its vocal sounds. Doesn't sound like he doesn't sound like Freddie Mercury. It's just the style they use. It's got an up-tempo, catchy riff to it. Sorry, I got to pop up there. Some heavy guitar parts, both the lead and the riffing part, really good. And a heavy rhythm section. This is a really pretty good song. The guitar parts, they're short, like 7 or 8 seconds in length, but they're kind of really catchy. Like makes you want to just jump up and start doing the air guitar thing. The next song is called Around the Universe in 80 Days. Probably my favorite track on the album. I'll be honest, I like this a lot. It's got a nice spacey keyboard synthesizer opening. Yeah, it does draw on some of that kind of quiet, slow, melodic piano parts that they're known for as well. The vocals are mid-range, clear, and melodic. The song grows up and becomes almost symphonic in sound as it goes along. It's got a little bit of a Beatles sound to it, not dominating, but there's a little bit of that. And there's this part where it sounds like they're using maybe a voice machine of some kind, where they're speaking through something that's giving them a kind of that electronic sound to their voice. And at that same time, they got this orchestratal stuff going on in the background. Some slow melodic keyboard parts, both the organ and the electric piano being the two more dominant parts here. And there's a bit of a spacey feel to the vocals as well. Like it's almost like they're purposely making them sound spacey. Next up is the Long Live Polyatsenia. I'm not sure really what that means, but you can figure it out. Probably the name of the planet or something. So this starts out with this kind of old style radio, like somebody switching the channels and you're getting voices and noises, that kind of thing going on, with some orchestratal sounds mixed in there. They do use this harmonium part along with this voice narrative where it's talking and you can hear the harmonium going in the background. You got some distorted vocal parts where it's kind of very murky and a lot of multi voices, like they're creating a chatter or something like that. Maybe that's part of the story. The vocal part takes off and almost you get this almost theater-like part where it's like you're watching a theater, and all of the orchestra is making that bombastic noise that orchestras do. And then there's this kind of radio voices going on in the background again. It does pick up speed, becomes more up tempo, tempo, and you get more of that orchestral stuff, which just kind of dominates this track. There's a lot of multi noises, like different stuff going on, and they have this little part, and I think it's a flute and a piano that kind of dominate that little part. Overall, this is a kind of almost like you're watching some kind of Star Wars thing on TV going on here. So pretty good song, though. It's also the longest track, just over 9 minutes in length. Sorry, I forgot my water tonight. So we got basically the back half of the album, which isn't as strong, but still pretty good. Starts out with The Loneliest of Creatures. This is a slow, kind of low end opening. It's really quiet with some keyboard parts mixed in there. Some catchy drum percussion parts as it picks up a little bit. The vocals, very harmonic, a lot of harmonies here. Really great, actually. Sounds really great. Then you add the opera in there, it sounds even better. It sounds like a full orchestra and opera going on at some points. Yeah, and there's more of this vocal parts where they do that multi, almost Queen-like thing going on here again. I think it's kind of a bit of a sad song, probably the only really sad song on the album, but really good. Ends with a kind of multi-harmony vocal part like you got on that Yes 90125, where they're all doing different parts at once. Next is Prelude. This is an instrumental, all instrumental, no vocals on this. Lots of orchestral instruments, sounds going on, there's just a kind of a sweet, soft kind of violin part. Nice piano and bass sounds accompanying the violin. It does pick up tempo a little, becomes a little more catchy as the track goes along. So doesn't go on immediately, but it just kind of picks up as it goes along. Next track up is probably the best on the second side. So Sad, the Lighthouse Keeper is the name of the track. It's got a little low childlike voice going on, doing the narrative at the beginning. It's like somebody talking, but it's like a child talking. The vocals clear a little bit. You get a kind of a mid-range vocal part, but it's slow and melodic. Song picks up this heaviness and then crescendos several times, where it picks up and then drops off and goes back to what it was doing originally. A nice flute on this album, at least I believe it's flute. It's either flute or some kind of acoustic, some kind of electric keyboard. Maybe not keyboard, but maybe I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it is, but it sounds like a flute. The melodic heavy part kind of takes over at different points and then drops off again. And then it's a nice slow, low symphonic part with some piano. That's where it kind of ends. And that's, to me, a really good song. The last track is the title track, which is kind of weird putting the title at the end. But because it's a concept album, there may be a reason for that. The song is called Hope. It's got a slow melodic track opening with some mid-range vocals here and almost a flute-like sound going on as well. Has some weepy-like guitar parts, like, that slide guitar that's kind of slowed down and sounds really weepy. Multi-voice parts again, mixed with some symphonic parts, so they do both together, kind of. They like to do that. Nice low guitar sounds at different parts. It does return to this melodic vocal part as the song goes along. It gets there and then disappears from it for a while and goes back to it. And it ends with this similar sound that they use at the end of the first album, which was kind of funny. I don't know if they did that on purpose or it just sounds like that to me. So the album we did tonight was called the Klaatu Hope. This one here, the second of 5 that they have made. I like them a lot. As a Canadian band, it makes it easy for me to like them. I just think that they're just a great band with lots of interesting stuff. Never boring, that's for sure. So that's my take on the Klaatu Hope. Please hit the like and subscribe. If you want to make any comments about the album or the first album, you can do that as well. Or if you just want to make any comments about what I've said, you can do that as well. And we'll see you all next Monday night for another look back at another classic rock album. Take care and have yourself a good evening. Goodbye.